Holla holla, it's your boy, George Billionaire, and today, hustle hard, you only live once. And today with me are the superstar champs, internationally known Amazing G's. And we're going to be giving you some amazing nuggets, not from myself, but from the Amazing G's as well. So let's go, let's do what it does.
For the whole afternoon, just going through the lyrical content of this song. I don't know if George remembers what he's going to talk to us about today because, George, you good?
Holla holla.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, George Billionaire.
Yeah, wait. We need to do something. And here we go.
Billionaire, and you're listening to Cappy Talk, 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat, with yours truly, Becky K.
Right, we're back with George Billionaire. I think his mind is back now. What's okay, Rimda?
I'm back. Holla holla. Your boy George Billionaire. Becky playing some old school jams.
Yeah.
Bringing us back
That's
some
my blood
amazing vibes. And yeah, it's always good to, on Monday, as always, to hustle hard. And on Hustle Hard, we are always here to make sure that we provoke, inspire, and we equip every single person who's coming on live, who's listening to us on their radios, who's watching us on their phones, wherever they are, to make you remember that everything is possible to he who believes. And our mandate, as always, is here to provoke, inspire, and to equip every single person who's always tuned on. And Becky, as always, it's amazing the reviews, the response we are getting from so many people who are actually starting. You know, for me, one of the greatest things that I love to hear is people who are actually saying, George, man, that show, you and Becky, I actually jumped off the ship. I actually decided, let me just get started. And you know, I think that's the greatest thing we can ever hear, to say that people are actually being renewed in their mind.
Yeah, that's true.
They're getting confidence to actually say, wait a minute, I can do it. If George did it, if Becky did it, if Becky has more than one stream of income, surely I can also add just one.
An extra one.
And you know what? That can actually help to increase the current money that I have to make me become a better person. So it's great to hear all those reviews and all those people inboxing me. Salute to you and all the amazing works that you're doing.
Great stuff. Also, over the weekend, you hosted yet another masterclass. And I was, I'm always stalking. Over the weekend, I always try to figure out what it is that you are up to. And the previous masterclass, there were two ladies that asked like really crucial questions. But you left us hungry to hear what the responses were. Before we get into the you only live once, make it count topic, I think somehow it entangles into the responses, or the questions rather, that you received at the last one before this one. So the first lady opened up and said she's currently employed working for company X. Does she leave? Does she jump ship? Does she remain? Because she's got some sort of a side hustle and seems to be doing well, but she's not so sure. Do I leave at this point and continue focusing on the side hustle, or do I keep my job and focus on the side hustle? That's the first one. Then the second one was a lady who's doing really well in business. And for me, I was like, this woman to actually come for George's masterclass. I have a masterclass Ukaona people of that stature coming in for your masterclass. I'm like, yes. I want to say it. Can I say it?
Say it.
Motivator of our generation.
Oh, wow.
Right. So her question was, you're just given a presentation about the whole branding aspect of things, and she says, George, we've done all of that. I've done the Instagram page, I've done the social media, I've done the website, I've set it up. It looks nice, it's inviting, but the customers
are not arriving.
Yes, they're not arriving. So as you give us your intel into those questions, just bear in mind you only live once. make it count.
Right. So Becky, salute to all the people masterclass. And the masterclass is always a place where, we had a number of people come through this weekend. And the masterclass is what we do once every month, where we are equipping people with practical entrepreneurship topics that I have gone through in life. On radio here, we do come and talk about this, that, and the other. But at the masterclass, it's beneficial both to the entrepreneurs, because they also get to meet with other entrepreneurs. They also get a one-on-one time with me, and they also leave far more equipped. So, it's always important to learn. And like you're saying, there are many seasoned people. I myself am one who is constantly learning. So when other people also have master classes, I'm not one person who says, I know everything. There's always room to know and learn from other people who have made it in life. So in our master class, that question was asked that, listen, I am currently working somewhere and I want to start a side hustle. Should I leave my current place of work to do this? And my response was clear, and I said, only leave when your side hustle has grown and matured to a certain extent that your now side hustle is able to pay you your current salary and a little bit more.
So your current and a little bit more.
And a little bit more. Because if you leave too quickly, remember, a seed put into the ground takes time to germinate. And you cannot expect to harvest fruit from a seed that you have planted today. It takes time for that thing to grow. And majority of people who start businesses think that, hey, if I just start today and I start saying I'm selling clothes, or I'm selling cars, or I'm selling hair, or I'm doing something, business is going to boom quickly and I'm going to have sales. But I've seen so many people on their business plans where they write, my return on investment in the first year is going to be 150% from the capital that I would have invested. Most of the time it doesn't happen like that. There's time for people to actually get to begin to believe in your product, believe in your service. In the masterclass we did this weekend, Becky, we were talking about how to establish, how to brand, and most importantly, how to run a successful business. So when people establish a business and they say this is what they want to do, the second and most important thing is to brand. And branding entails of so many things: marketing, your logo, what amount of money you're putting in on the marketing, and how much you're pushing your brand. And people just think brand is just your logo and saying you're operating, but there's a lot of things that are entailed in that. So people need to understand, for people to actually receive a brand, and we were talking about it this weekend, for you to go and buy a specific model of a phone, you have confidence in that specific model of phone.
Absolutely.
For you to go and get a product or service at a specific shop, at a service station, I go and get my car refilled at a specific service station. Why? Because I've seen they are convenient, they help me quickly, they always ask me to check this, that, and the other, and now they know me by name. So when you're building a brand, remember this: when you ask people what's the favorite car you want to drive, they obviously mention, I want to drive this one, I want this one. Why? Because they've seen it. They've seen, it's a reliable car, it's a durable car, and etc. So same is it with your brand and your business. People need to be able to believe in your brand.
Right.
And I've always said this, that a lot of people who see me wonder to George, why is it you're always, every day of your life, we see you wearing a Pro Air t-shirt everywhere. You're driving a Pro Air car, you've got soccer jerseys, you can, and that's because what I'm doing is subconsciously, I'm making people who see the brand repeated. There are some people who are seeing Pro Air for the first time today, right? And what happens with the human mind, it can only have belief or confidence in a brand subconsciously when they have seen it at least a minimum of 20 times. This is psychologically proven.
Right.
So even there are people who are listening or watching us today who are going to have lunch today because they were driving, they saw billboards, they saw this. When they end up going to purchase that food, somehow, whether on their handheld device or a billboard, they have been indirectly persuaded to go and buy food from that thing because
this
they
is
saw.
me thinking now I need to go to a certain office 20 times.
You see? Yeah.
They need to see me at least 20 times.
Because yes, the more people see a brand, the more confident they get in it.
Okay.
This is why even when we're watching soccer games or movies, you'll see, in the background, you'll see that bottle of that drink you like. You'll see that computer. You'll see that car driving in the car chase. You'll see all of these things are subconsciously put. Celebrities are holding that phone. All of it is indirect, trying to persuade people. So people have to understand, in order for your brand to be recognized, to be believed by others, you have to make a lot of noise. You have to be very deliberate with making people see your brand. And to most entrepreneurs who start, it's a pity that they don't talk about their brand. For me, wherever I go, people know what I do because I don't have to say it because I'm wearing it. And most of the time, either I'm having lunch or something, somebody's like, hey, my car is not cooling. Hey, I need something at the office because I'm wearing that. So to people out there, be very confident and proud about what you are doing in business because you don't know who any customer is, right?
True.
Anybody is a potential customer only if they know what you do. But if you are in plain clothes and you call yourself an entrepreneur, you look like everybody else. Therefore, you're going to miss opportunities and remain poor. You're going to pass off opportunities regularly because you're not branded and people are not seeing your brand. So when you then say, hey, my name is George, I'm from Pro Air, I do air conditioning, you're going to get a response, I wish I knew. If you had told me just yesterday, I haven't seen it on your profile or anywhere. Just yesterday, we bought 30 air cons. And then your stomach gets those butterflies. Because you were not vocal, you were not posting about it, you were not letting people know, hi, I do air conditioning. This is what we do. If you need A, B, C, your car, home office, call us and we will assist you. So people have to get to a place where they are deliberate about their brand, what they do. We've said it on the previous show when we say Amai Rebecca Chisamba, you know what she does. When we say Zodwa Mkandla, we know what she does. When we say Philip Mataranyika, when we say Kenneth Sharp, the list can go on. When we say Ja Preza, you know what they do because they are deliberate about exposing their brand. So it's important that people get to that point in time where they realize, you know what? Only until I'm serious about being the face of my brand. And another question was asked at the mentorship class where people say, I don't want to be the face of the brand.
Yeah, and what happens there?
And then I said, you need to be serious because if you don't want to be the face of the brand, who do you want to be the face of your brand?
I want to work behind the scenes.
But then if you want to, there's strategies. You can get socialites to advertise, but there's nobody who knows the vision, the objective, what you want to achieve. And for me, most people if you think about Henry Ford, trust you me, if we look at Mercedes-Benz, if we look at Steve Jobs, if we look at Bill Gates, if we look at Strive Masiwa, if we look at all these successful people, there was once upon a time they were actually the face of their brand. But because it then grew and people gained confidence in it, you know what, now it's just flowing. So you have to. Failure to do that, you're going to lose a lot by trying to make socialites and ambassadors the face of your brand. You should be able to stand out and say, hi, I'm the one who invented this and that, and this is the reason I did this. I started because I wanted to create a convenience for people when they are working in their offices so that they can be cool and comfortable. And you sell your story and people like it and they like you. So it's important, people realize that the less you do that, there are only those who have become billionaires who say, no, I don't want people to know that I'm behind this enterprise. Don't try and be like them. Those people have already made it. With you who's starting at the bottom,
yeah, that's true.
You gotta be a little bit more hungry and aggressive. Remember, mariage for you to say, I don't want to be the face, I want to be behind this. It's not the primary hustle.
Okay.
But I gotta make this work. Trust you me, they don't mind going at the robots, standing, giving out flyers because they believe in that thing that they are doing. But to hear not to know,
you raised something there. Zimbabweans. I'm trying to think of someone who is known, and even maybe you are known within your circle of friends, and then you're seen at the traffic lights handing out pamphlets. I see why some would be like, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah.
I want to send someone else
Becky,
to go out there.
I've said it before that I remember years back when I used to do that myself with Pro Air. There's no roads in Harare where there's traffic coming into town.
George, street cred.
Understand this, and a lot of people say,
Dude.
Trust you me, the thing that people don't get is the return on investment and what it shows to people. That, wow, Iwe, I've seen this lady. She's the one who's doing this. I've seen this guy. And you know what happens? Early in the morning, you don't know. I remember one of our biggest contracts at the beginning came from giving flyers at the robots, right? And at that time, Becky, believe it or not, I had a one-roomed office at Robin House. But because of our presentation, my Pro Air Combi was parked at the corner and there were 7-8 guys distributing flyers. This guy thought, wow, this company is the biggest air conditioning company. Only when we finished the job and they came to our office, they were like, this is where you are. But the perception that we had created and also delivering the good work that we did, they were actually like, wow, you know what, I would have never come had you never given me that flyer in the morning.
Absolutely.
So there are people who may not see your adverts on the phone. There are people who may not see a lot of things, but in the morning when you give them, you attract a different clientele. And it also shows a level of seriousness. Some people think, no, flyer distribution is old school. Trust you me, the statistics of how many people come in contact with what is called a flyer and the impact it has on return on investment is a flyer meets at least 15 people minimum. You take it into the office, you put it on your desk. All the people who are coming, if you leave it in your car, everybody who's coming, when you go to the car wash, when it's being cleaned, a lot of people get in touch with that and it still works. So to people who are listening, there are many ways. But for me, it's the seriousness. If you're still concerned,
like that, it's the seriousness.
If you're still concerned with what people think about you,
you're not serious.
Wakamira pama robots. Trust you me, you're never going to live a fulfilled life. You're going to live a life for people, and it's expensive. But for me, imagine I did that 11 years. Now our brand is well known, right? But
you've got no reason to be by the traffic lights at this point.
I still do. Whenever we have a flyer campaign, trust you me, I'm one person who is very aggressive and I love doing that. Personally, I still enjoy that. I get to meet a lot of customers on the road.
When you're going on your next one, call me.
I definitely beg.
I want to witness it on myself. 0719-100-404 is the WhatsApp number to get in touch with us. We are talking about You Only Live Once, but we had to just tackle some business questions also in light of You Only Live Once. Now, George, you only live once, make it count. Let's talk risk in business. Does that statement work when you're making certain business decisions with, let me just get into this deal, let me just sort this thing out, let me just do this consignment, let me just with the you only live once in your mind, or risk is like a totally different ball game altogether?
Right. So before I answer that, I want to give a big shout out to my superstar champs, internationally known, the amazing G's. Today
yes,
I'm in studio.
In the building.
I'm in studio with my son George and Gabriel, and they've been working with me this school holiday. Tomorrow's back to school.
They've been working with you?
Yes, they've been working at Pro Air over the holiday and understanding what dad does deliberately, because it's important that we begin to empower our kids. Remember last time we were talking about train up a child in the way they should go. Don't let a child make decisions by themselves without having experience of what dad does, and then you wonder why you end up using a lot of money making them go to university because you don't understand your kids. So they've been at Pro Air over the holiday, and today was their last day, and today we decided, listen, you're definitely there.
Blink if you need man. Did he pay you? Just blink. Did he pay you? I don't know if I can count that as a blink. Did he pay you? Okay, no, that's a definite blink. He's like,
so it's important as parents to expose our kids And going back to you only live once, understand that the thing about life is that you don't know how much of it you have left. And the experiences that you give your children are key. Don't be too busy not to spend time with your kids, for them to learn certain things. And I always look back at my father when he was still at work. The greatest lessons I learned from my dad was just hanging around with him when he was working. I saw that, wow, my dad is a people person. My dad interacts well with others. My dad is upset here, but he kept his cool. There are certain things you can't teach your children by you telling them. There's certain things that they will understand more just being in your surroundings and understanding, oh, this is what dad calls work. So, a couple of days they've been with me throughout the day, sitting into some of discussions and understanding. So it's key, because it's important that we also begin to expose our kids to understand that, listen, if dad is not here, how do things work? And especially as boys, it's important that they get to understand that there's a thing called hustling. There's a thing called working hard. It's good to be book smart, but there's also life after school, where you now need to be the man and the husband of your family, and you need to understand that you must work hard. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to my kids.
Oh, thanks. I'm sure if we get like an extra 5 minutes or so, we'll love to hear from them.
True.
Because the amazing G's always have something to talk about. The risk in business and living only once, like make it count.
Life is short, and people think that they have a lot of time. And if you're going to keep contemplating, if you're going to keep procrastinating, if you're not going to take that chance, you are never going to ultimately be what God purposed you to be. Now, the word risk in life is something that everybody needs to actually take at one point and the other. The thing about life is that the greatest fear that people have in life is not making it. But understand this, behind the doors of your greatest fears lie your greatest treasures. But only to he or she who is willing to take a risk, to say, you know what, kusiri kufande kupi, let me try. Because those who have tried, those who have taken a risk, are people who have actually accumulated, had experiences, learned big, great lessons from that risk they took, compared to people who did not take a risk. It's a risk, the greatest risk. People think that they are going to leave this planet alive. Trust you me, everybody who's listening to us today is going to die. But the greatest risk you can ever take in your life is to become comfortable. Because had you not remained comfortable, you could have amassed so much more. This is why we always talk about Miles Monroe's favorite quote: the greatest place, the richest place on planet Earth is the graveyard. Because people didn't take risks, and this is why they never brought certain things into life, because they were too calculated. And the thing with our academics and our schools, get it correctly, they are teaching us to be safe, to be comfortable. But to those who made it, all these great people, they took a risk. And in business, if you never take a risk, you will never get the reward. You have to be willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna try this. But remember what we've always said here, failure is not failure. Failure is a lesson learned, and you've learned how not to do something. It's the first attempt in learning. That's the abbreviation of fail, right? But if you don't ever take a risk, you're going to die, go to heaven, be shown Becky. At that time, you were supposed to take a risk.
Scary.
George, you were supposed to work 6 years of your life, then begin pro air. Yes, but imagine, George, you didn't take the bigger risk of going to other countries and continents. And now you just remained an African champion. So in this life, it's important to take a risk. Starting a business is a risk. It can fail or it can succeed. But to he who never takes the risk to start a business or to start a side hustle, you are going to suffer from regret. And regret is the worst. Becky, I've been to old people's home listening to people. And the only thing that they keep saying, all of them, I wish I'd started. I wish when I was younger, I traveled more. I wish I didn't contemplate, procrastinate. And in business, no, now that I have one branch, let me remain like this. Life is not safe that you're going to come out of it alive. Life is not safe that you think you have 40 more years of life. You have to be able to now make an investment, now make a risk, because you never know what tomorrow holds.
And you don't.
And people have this comfortable thing of thinking, no, I'll do it next year. There's no time for next year.
No, there isn't.
There are people who thought they were going to arrive at work today alive, and they didn't make it. There are people who thought, no, I'm going to invest. I'm going to start that business next month.
Yeah.
I always say the greatest secret to getting ahead, especially in this life, is getting started. There's one thing that Jesus said before he left, and he said this, Hansi, do business. Do business.
Be busy.
Until I come back.
Occupy.
As not going to go to work until I come.
Yeah.
Hansi, do business. Work is great. But pachako, tragoka bizimusi, kaunotanga. Kuti mwari paanodzoka, you will be unlike those servants who were given 1 talent, 5 talents,
what to do with it?
10 talents. I had that job and I kept it for 45 years. But that's not life. The guy who had 5 talents had 10. The guy who had 10 multiplied and had 20. And that's the message to our lives today. Don't just think that job is the only thing. Your job, the money you get, is the startup capital for the many things you want to do.
Absolutely.
That salary is not to be consumed. Kuti pay your pera.
Don't forget the do. Because you can do pepe, but pepe do, and you're like, what next?
And imagine, like now it's back to school.
Yeah.
Imagine,
it's
I can only imagine, Kuti. Imagine ka side hustle. They win ka 50, ka 100, ka 1,000, ka 2,000. Had you started? But right now, people need to understand. God gave us gifts. Make use of your gifts.
Absolutely.
Do not die full. Make sure on this planet, we were talking about this with the amazing G's, that what are you going to be remembered for? And most of you right now, we will need a tombstone to know that you were here on earth. Because other than breathing the air that God gave you and growing up, there's nothing that we can say and put to your name. Because guess what? You kept being comfortable. You were okay with where you are. But to all the people who've made it, as provoking as it is, there are many people saying, George, you don't know the economy, things are tight, this, that, and the other. There are people, 2 types of people. There are people who make excuses, those who suffer from excusitis, right? And then there are people who hear this message and take action. Those are the only 2 types of people. People who make excuses, remain where they are, they complain, they blame from the government, all the way down to, if I had different parents, my headmaster, I went to the wrong school, I married the wrong person, this, that, etc. But when they want to take action, they understand that yes, I may have been born kumusha, but that does not limit me on what I ultimately am going to be. They take action. They are hungrier than everybody else. In this economy where people are complaining, they are not complaining and they are cruising along. So those 2 types of people are the ones who make it in life. The ones who make excuses, vachange vari kuexcusatisis corner, vachada ma tombstone kuti zvozoto wanga uripo. Kozita vai the ones who took action. If you mention their name, vanhu vasingatovazive vanotodoma kutoti akadai akazodai akadai, because they took action and they made an impact on the planet, and they'll be remembered for centuries to come because they brought something to life which changed people's life. Saka in life, if you're going to remain a person who does not take risks and a person who makes excuses and doesn't take action, ucharamba uri pauri. And remember this, you only live once, and once is enough for you to make an impact.
Come on.
But wakaramba
once is enough.
Uchakura and uchaenda ku old people's home. Wasn't it called?
How far?
Vana makasira vanachi. You don't want.
That's the scariest question.
And we're all getting there. We're all gonna get
there. That's the scariest question.
And it's
It's 12:48 on the Pulse on Capital 100.4 FM. Hustle Hard with George Billionaire. I could already see some questions that were coming through and also some contributions. So I'll start off with 5153, who has sent in. It's a very long one, so I'll try and just go through it. Hi Becky. Hi my billionaire. I'm so moved by how you guys facilitate a platform for everyone to become successful. I'm so proud to be a Hustle Hard fan. I graduated in 2022, but since then, it has been so difficult for me to get a job in my field. After listening to a certain session on which our mentor George says it's better to have a side hustle or your own business, even if you start small, I decided to learn graphic design. I can design digital posters, flyers, company logos, etc. As a way of trying to market my own work, I'm volunteering as of designing a thing for free for people in my circle. So I need an advice from you guys. I don't have personal customers. I'm not established and I don't have capital. Maybe to grow this business. First of all, does it need capital? That's my question right now. Right? Should I continue doing this? If yes, how can I survive? Because for now, I'm not having any profit because you're doing it for free.
Imagine.
Or should I seek a job for a while in order to raise some small capital? Is there any brighter future in this at all?
Okay, let's go to the next question. I'll answer them all at once.
All right. Inspiring indeed. It's not easy, but I told myself if I don't step up in making the world a better place, then who will? We keep on going and conquering. My business, I can't mention you. Hey, this person is so clever. Yeah. I was about to mention the business.
Yeah. They're selling.
Yes, my business X is now showing great positive results. Another one. Which is it? This one. Okay.
Right.
Another one says, "Hi, Uncle Billy. Thank you for today's topic. I know when the direction and then because every time when people talk about you live once, they always talk about my regrets. Question yangu has got to do with business. Pamusika. Can business pamusika grow beyond what it is? If so, how can it grow and what are the paperwork? If so, what are the paperworks that are needed in order for it to grow beyond Pamusika?
Okay, so to the first question, the guy who's doing media designs and etc. I would say for you a very simple strategy which can actually get you noticed and relevant if you're really good at what you do. It's simple. Who are you targeting? Target high-profile individuals.
Right.
Show them what you can do. Do it better than somebody who's currently doing it, and then offer your services after that to be paid for. It depends who is in your circle of friends. If you're doing for your friends who do not have the disposable income to support you, or who are telling just do it for exposure, you will not get paid. And at the end of the day, I understand designing and media. It takes a lot of time and effort for you to do. So basically, you're at the wrong place, right? You need to target specific individuals, create value for them. I have somebody who's currently doing my media now.
Value. Yeah.
I have somebody, right? He's in the studio with us today. He's the one who's been up doing all my media and stuff. And what he did, he simply came and said, "Sir, I saw you posted a video. Can I redo it for you and send it back to you?" And imagine, Akadena. And then from there, I was like, wow, I like this. The second time he did it, then I was like, listen, I need you to do this full time. And now he's with me wherever I go, doing all my media and etc. So that's a strategy for you, because I have somebody who's already doing that for me. But imagine if you found your person, they'll definitely drastically change your life.
Yeah.
And wherever I go, I also link him up with many other things.
Yeah.
To the lady Pamusika, remember, everything that is great started small. If you put a little on a little, soon it will become much. So there's no one who started with $1 million. They started with $1, 10, 20, 100, 50. It went up. So you have to start small. And that's the greatest challenge with many people. Pamusika, you can actually now, wait a minute, let me go come talk. Do any truckload, yes. Don't know a distributor, Pambare, you make money. Because kuva kwam toko from the farmers, they'll sell it to you at $1. You sell it in large scale, you make a lot of money. So anything small definitely can become big if you've got the mindset of it. Wakarambongo enekamsika pakona ipapo kari one. Aukure, always look at the bigger thing. Remember, for all these great supermarkets that sell vegetables all over the country, trust you me, they all started small. Right? All these big corporates that we know today started small. I started in the car, right? And now we have an office. And now others started there and they've got offices all over the world. Saka chinchese chinokwanisa kukura according to the mindset that you have and what you're willing to do to make it grow. So anything small can become big if you just have the mindset and you are faithful with the little that you have.
Right.
Remember, profit haijigiwe uchiri mudiki. Delayed personal gratification. A lot of people a lot of people once wangoita mari 20,000 wakutoti no ndakotenga mota ndakaona ya andizvo azvisiriizvo no ramba uri mukamota ikako aiwa peer pressure iyoyo unotenga mota ye 20,000 and then ausisina madomasi ekutengesa uri kudriver good kabata basina product chakuigira mari. So people need to understand delay personal gratification. This is the greatest lesson that if somebody has never listened to us understands. When you start your side hustle, delay making too much noise, being seen, unpacking all these expensive gifts. No, delay it. After 10 years, and a lot of people don't like to hear that, after your business and your brand is 10 years, then reward yourself accordingly. Be jana. Don't go and buy.
Anyway, let's move on with the contributions because of our time. Because I want to hear from the amazing G. And Becky, your fellow designer, this is from another graphic designer. Your fellow designer, yongata risepa vanhu vake kuti ane potential to grow his business. Omutanga, but he has to start charging for his services. Thank you.
You can't keep doing freebies.
Freebies are okay depending on how long you do them for and who you're doing them for.
It's who.
Yes.
The most important
is who.
If you're good at what you do, you'll be noticed. True that.
Yeah, because at this rate, vanhu vatema vafe vakazokuti mari iyo yebasa rawakanditira.
That's true.
If he is good, anokura, but they don't do that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Another one says, where is it? Okay, this one is from Eunice. Eunice says, hi Becky, hi Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy, you never cease to amaze with your new powerful motivation every time you come here. It's true that some of us don't apply or utilize ourselves fully to retain the most in our hustles. We pride ourselves so much in wearing the CEO or director titles. You see them on Facebook, CEO or director titles, but you don't know what's happening in the factory.
True that.
Let's get our hands dirty first, then we can wear those high titles and suits, in my high heels, But when systems are self-running and fully functional, that's when we can, hold our heads high and do all of those that CEO stuff. Iwe takura my bottle yelori ku church for starters. Okay, iwe takura my bottles elori ku church for starters. So probably her business is in peanut butter making.
Don't be shy about your hustle.
Don't be shy.
Usanyare kuti unotengesa dovi, madomasi, onion, whatever it is. Let everybody in your community first know kuti wow, if you need this. Yes, if you need makeup. Yes. Imagine that.
Like if you need a good pedi.
That's it. Holla.
That girl.
That girl. That's the
Anyway, 2 minutes left. Love Mom Pleasant says, Mr. Pro Air, I wish to attend your weekend workshops. You have helped me on self-branding to always put on my business brand.
Next month we'll have it. A big shout out to those who invited. There were people who contributed on the show last week. I think we'll do that again. So keep listening to Hustle Hard, and we will be giving a couple of seats. But otherwise, at the masterclass, people pay for the masterclass, and it's important. Whatever you pay for does a little something different.
If you don't invest in it, you won't respect the things that you get.
True that.
Come on now. All right, so we're gonna talk to the amazing G's. They are in studio with us. We've got 2 minutes or like a minute left before we get into the news. So I'll start with George Jr. Hey George.
How are you?
Come closer to the microphone. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing great. What are you looking forward to, going back to school and like this is the last term of the year?
I just want to have fun.
I think, okay, go on.
I want to have fun because it's my last term of Form 2.
Yay!
I want to also excel in my books and become the best I can possibly be in my sports. This time I'm playing basketball and I have swimming.
So this term you've got basketball and swimming.
Yeah.
And you love them both equally?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. What's your takeaway, like your motto for this term?
Hard work beats talent any day.
Yicho. I'm bringing my kids to you. Let's hear from you, young man.
My name is Gabe Romnengwa.
Hey, Gabe. Does anyone call you that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I live in Halfan House, and my goal this term is to excel in my sports.
Mm-hmm.
For example, cricket, swimming, and also in my academics. And my just do it.
That's my motto for this year, dude. Oh my gosh, the Amazing G's in studio with George Billionaire. Hustle hard every Monday from 12 until 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. Pulses, stand by for the news.